The Adventure of the Heirloom Heist, featuring Detective Jane Parsons. Chapter 1. The Grand Ball. There was a warm glow at the grand ballroom of the St.Reginald Hotel, where crystal chandeliers hung from the high ceiling, refracting light onto the polished marble floor. The air was alive with the sweet melodies of a string quartet as elegantly attired couples twirled in a mesmerizing dance. It was a night of opulence and extravagance, and the elite of England had gathered for the most anticipated event of the season. Lord and Lady Harrington, a couple of considerable wealth and influence, had reserved the penthouse suite of the hotel. Lady Harrington, adorned in a gown of ivory silk and lace, wore a magnificent diamond necklace that glimmered with a timeless elegance. It was a family heirloom passed down through generations. The ballroom buzzed with animated conversations and laughter as guests indulged in the finest champagne and delicacies. Jane Parsons, a guest of Lady Mayfair, also happened to be at the ball. Known for her sharp intellect and discerning eye, navigated the sea of aristocracy, observing the interactions with a subtle yet attentive gaze. As the night unfolded, the Harringtons became the epitome of grace on the dance floor. Lord Harrington, in his tailored black coat and silver cravat, led Lady Harrington in a waltz that captivated the attention of the entire assembly. The diamond necklace sparkled like a constellation against Lady Harrington's neck, drawing envious glances from the elite gathered for the ball. "Jane," observed the couple with keen interest. Little did they know that, just a few hours later, the tranquility of their suite would be shattered by the discovery of a crime that would send ripples through the upper echelons of society. Chapter 2. The Disappearance. As the first light of dawn began to pierce through the heavy curtains of the Harrington suite, Lady Harrington, still adorned in her elegant ball gown, gasped in horror at the disarray that greeted her. The once immaculate room now bore the marks of a struggle, with furniture askew and personal belongings scattered about. Panic seized Lady Harrington as she clutched her throat, realizing that the priceless diamond necklace, the centerpiece of her ensemble just hours ago, had vanished. The distressed couple wasted no time summoning the manager, who was busy talking with Jane and Lady Mayfair. "Why, it's Detective Jane Parsons. You have got to help me. Someone ransacked our suite, and my heirloom diamond necklace is now gone." The renowned detective, known for her skill in navigating the labyrinth of upper-class intrigue, arrived at the suite, her keen eyes sweeping the room for clues. The room presented a puzzle that would require the utmost precision to unravel. The Harringtons, distressed and bewildered, recounted the events of the evening to Jane. The ball had been a night of celebration, with Lord and Lady Harrington revelling in the splendour of the company. Lady Harrington had gone up to her suite after the dance and had put the necklace back in the drawer and locked it, then returned downstairs to the ballroom. Yet, as they returned to their suite, after the ball was over, the euphoria was abruptly replaced by the shocking discovery of the missing necklace and the ransacked room. Jane meticulously examined the room, noting the broken latch on the window and the faint scent of lavender, the fragrance worn by Lady Harrington. The clues began to form a delicate tapestry, one that hinted at a disturbance beyond the surface. As Jane pondered the significance of these details, the atmosphere in the room grew tense with uncertainty. The detective decided to question the three individuals with access to the room: the lady's own maid, Elizabeth, whose loyalty seemed unwavering; the chauffeur, Thomas, whose connection to Elizabeth hinted at a tangled web of relationships; and the chambermaid, Anna. The Harringtons looked on anxiously as Jane commenced her investigation, determined to unearth the truth behind the disappearance of the heirloom that held not only monetary value, but generations of family history. The suite, once a sanctuary of luxury, now echoed with the weight of a mystery that threatened to tarnish the reputation of the prestigious St.Reginald Hotel. Chapter 3. The Maid's Secret. The sun had fully risen, casting a warm glow through the suite's windows as Jane Parsons began her interviews. Elizabeth, the couple's maid, stood with a quiver in her voice, her hands wringing nervously. Her eyes darted anxiously around the room as Jane inquired about the events leading up to the discovery of the missing necklace. Elizabeth insisted on her innocence, her voice shaking with genuine concern for her employers. As she spoke, Jane noticed a small smudge of dirt on Elizabeth's apron, a peculiar detail that caught her attention, leading to further probing questions. Under the weight of scrutiny, Elizabeth confessed to a secret romance with Thomas, the chauffeur. She had taken advantage of her employers being at the ball and had gone to meet Thomas A., forbidden love that had flourished in the shadows, concealed from the prying eyes of the Harrington household. Jane, recognizing the complexities of human relationships, sensed a potential motive for foul play. The detective's intuition urged her to delve deeper into the dynamics of the clandestine affair. Elizabeth revealed that Thomas had been aware of the diamond necklace, and in their stolen moments together, the allure of wealth had lingered in the air. A lover's pact born out of financial desperation, or so it seemed. Jane, with a stern expression, reminded Elizabeth of the severity of the situation. The heiress's necklace was a family treasure, and if found guilty, both her and Thomas could go to prison for a long, long time. As Jane turned her attention to Thomas, the chauffeur, she found him pacing nervously in the hotel's corridor. His guilt-ridden eyes met Jane's piercing gaze, and he reluctantly admitted to the clandestine affair with Elizabeth. His alibi for the night, however, remained steadfast. He had been attending to the Harringtons' carriage during the ball, and had only met Elizabeth briefly outside the lot where the carriage stood. Further questioning revealed that Thomas liked to bet on horses and had been down on his luck of late. The interplay of emotions and relationships unfolded like a Shakespearean drama. As Jane confronted Thomas with the new information about the necklace, his stoic facade began to crumble. A bead of sweat formed on his forehead as he recounted the moments leading up to the disappearance, casting doubt on the stability of their alibi. The complexity of the relationships within the Harrington household and the layers of secrecy surrounding the theft hinted at a deeper conspiracy. Chapter 4: Unraveling Lies. Jane Parsons, undeterred by the emotional turmoil surrounding the forbidden romance, turned her attention to the chambermaid, Anna. Anna, a woman of quiet demeanor, stood amidst the opulence of the hotel corridor, her apron bearing the insignia of her service. As Jane questioned her about the night of the ball, Anna's responses were measured, each word chosen with a careful precision that hinted at a well-practiced script. "I had only entered the suite once, ma'am, to make sure the suite was clean and spotless, and all the towels and toiletries were arranged exactly how the lord and lady liked it. Elizabeth watched me the whole time I was there." Jane's eyes, however, were drawn to the small smudge of ink on Anna's finger, a detail that stirred a sense of curiosity within the detective. As the questioning continued, more details came to the forefront. The chambermaid, it seemed, had been within earshot of a heated argument between the Harringtons earlier in the evening. Jane, sensing a pivotal moment in the investigation, pressed Anna for further details. The chambermaid hesitated, her eyes betraying a flicker of uncertainty. Slowly, the truth began to emerge. The argument had revolved around Lord Harrington's financial woes, a topic that resonated with Anna's own struggles as a servant. "How long do you want me to pretend everything is fine, Mary? If I don't pay off our debt of £500,000 to the bank, they will seize our house and we will lose everything," Lord Harrington had said. "Not our, but your debt," the lady had replied scornfully, Anna said. As the pieces of the puzzle fell into place, Jane found herself caught in a web of conflicting loyalties. Anna, though privy to the couple's personal affairs, insisted she knew nothing of the necklace's disappearance. The chambermaid's version of events clashed with the narratives of Elizabeth and Thomas, leaving Jane to sift through the layers of deception to discern fact from fiction. Jane, now faced with a trio of suspects entangled in a complex dance of relationships, pondered the possibility of collusion. Were the three conspiring to shield one another, or was each an unwitting pawn in a larger scheme? To uncover the truth, Jane decided to revisit the crime scene. The Harrington suite, once a haven of luxury, now bore the scars of a mystery that eluded easy resolution. Jane meticulously examined the broken latch on the window, the faint scent of lavender, and the remnants of a shattered vase, all the while piecing together a narrative that transcended the boundaries of social class. As Jane delved deeper into the intricate tapestry of deception, the lines between loyalty and betrayal blurred. The grand ball, a spectacle of affluence and prestige, had become the backdrop for a drama that resonated with the universal themes of love, ambition, and financial despair. The investigation, far from reaching its conclusion, had opened a Pandora's box of secrets. Chapter 5: The Debt-Ridden Husband. In the aftermath of Jane Parsons' meticulous investigation, the Harrington suite stood as a silent witness to the unraveling drama. The dawn of a new day bathed the room in a gentle light, casting shadows on the remnants of a night that had forever altered the lives of those involved. Jane summoned Lord Harrington to the suite, his countenance marked by a mix of trepidation and guilt. The aristocrat, usually composed and dignified, now faced the detective with a palpable unease. Jane, with a stern gaze, questioned Lord Harrington about his financial standing and the argument between him and Lady Harrington. As the layers of the Lord's financial distress were peeled away, a startling revelation emerged. Lord Harrington, once a paragon of wealth and influence, had found himself ensnared in the web of a financial downturn. His investments, gambled on the unpredictable currents of the stock market, had crumbled, leaving him drowning in a sea of debt. The weight of financial ruin bore heavily on Lord Harrington's shoulders, and in a moment of desperation he confessed to the unthinkable. He had stolen the diamond necklace. The family heirloom, a symbol of prestige and lineage, had become the collateral for a gambler's last roll of the dice. Jane, absorbing the confession with a measured composure, realized that the theft was not merely an act of greed, but a manifestation of a man pushed to the brink. Lord Harrington, cornered by financial ruin and the looming disgrace of his family name, had succumbed to the allure of the sparkling necklace as a lifeline out of his dire predicament. "When did you do it, Lord Harrington?" Jane asked. With a deep sigh, Lord Harrington said, "Just a little after Lady Harrington had returned downstairs, after locking away her diamond necklace in the suite. I had stepped out for a smoke, when out of the corner of my eye I saw the maid Elizabeth walk towards the carriages. I had doubts all along that she had a thing going on with Thomas, and knowing she would not return to her adjoining maid's room for at least half an hour, I quickly went to the suite, opened the lock with an extra key, and the rest is as you now know." The revelation sent shocked Lady Harrington, who had stood by her husband's side throughout the investigation, grappled with the reality of the betrayal. The forbidden romances and tangled relationships that had initially cast suspicion on the household paled in comparison to the magnitude of Lord Harrington's actions. The detective, torn between empathy and duty, ensured that justice would prevail. The stolen diamond necklace, a symbol of a family's heritage, was returned to Lady Harrington, who clutched it tightly as if repossessing a piece of her own soul. The fallout from the grand ball echoed through the elite circles of England, leaving behind whispers of scandal and tarnished reputations. Jane Parsons, having unravelled the intricate tapestry of lies, emerged from the investigation with a sense of resolution. Her reputation as a relentless detective solidified. The tale of the grand ball at the St.Reginald Hotel, initially a celebration of opulence and societal grandeur, became a cautionary fable of the fragility that lay beneath the facade of privilege. As the upper echelons of England resumed their routines, Jane Parsons retreated into the shadows, ready for the next enigma that awaited her.